Good morning. So this week I'm going to talk about 10 different things in the hand by the end of this week. So 2 things each day, one that is a little bit more positive, we could say, and one that is probably something that's more difficult for people. So 2 things each day is my plan, and today is day 1. And so the first thing that I'm going to talk about, so most people that work with me come to me with career confusion. So I see this marker a lot in people. I experienced that pretty much all of my corporate career, and I spent a lot of time, and I ended up in burnout a lot of times because I had to present in a way that wasn't natural to my personality and my basically who I am. And so that caused a lot of burnout for me all the time, just on a wheel of burnout. And so maybe some of you have experienced that. And a lot of people who have this marker I'm about to show you have also experienced that because they're showing up to something that isn't natural to them. And so when you can align yourself with a career that's natural for your personality and who you are and how you want to express in the world, it's much more comfortable. No, it's way more comfortable to be able to be authentic. Okay, so first marker is, it looks like a window. So let me draw the Saturn line in here so you have a reference point for this. And by the way, I'm not left-handed, but I'm trying to write with my left hand on my right hand. So, it might look like a 2-year-old drew this, but, be forgiving, please. So this is the Saturn line. Typically comes up from the bottom of the hand. We're going to talk about a variation of the Saturn line today that doesn't come up from the bottom of the hand. So if yours doesn't, don't freak out. So if you have a box or perhaps even a crisscross in the middle, a window in the center of your hand along your Saturn line like that, maybe it doesn't have the window pane. That's okay. It could just be a boxing. And a lot of times it goes right around the head and the heart line, because if you think about what I was talking about, that's very difficult for the head and the heart. So when you're in a situation where you have a lot of career confusion, it can bounce back and forth, right, between your head and your heart. Well, I need this stable paycheck, but my heart's saying this isn't right for me. And so those 2 energies can be bouncing back and forth. And so that's a lot of times, I think, why the window can show up right there in particular. So I see a lot of this, like I said, and it can feel like a logistical logjam, like what I just described, because logistically, a lot of times we've told ourselves stories and we have a lot of beliefs around the fact that we have to choose a certain career path. It can be family, society, whatever. However, we came to that conclusion that we have to be in a certain career path, right? We have created, and believe me, most of us have created at least one or many stories around why we need to be doing what we're doing. So a lot of the times when people come to me with career confusion, we really have to work on the stories. And so for you in your life, it would be looking at what stories, if you have this, you've created around why you need to be doing what you're doing, because perhaps you don't, and you've just created a bunch of stories that you're just fulfilling, right? So whatever your beliefs are, and a story is a belief that you've told yourself over and over and over again, and you've adopted it as your truth, right? And so if you can find those stories and work through them and create a different belief for yourself, that you can be supported doing something that you love, you can be supported doing something that's in alignment with your natural personality and with your heart, whatever the belief is that you need to create, you can rewrite those stories, right? And you can create something new in your life. So check and see if you happen to have the boxing. Could look like a window. Check either hand. I just drew that on this one. Okay, so other marker. So we said we're going to talk about 2 a day, right? So other marker is coming up from the moon. If you have a career line, so this is the career line that we're talking about. It's called the fate line, the Saturn line, however you want to call it. It's about responsibility and all of those good things, creating what you need in your life and having your needs met. If it comes up from the moon, then you are someone who needs to be doing inspiring work. So the regular old selling notebooks or whatever is not going to work for you. Well, and I can't speak for everyone, but if people have this line, my tendency would be to say that wouldn't work for them, right? They need to be doing something that truly inspires them and really comes from their heart. A lot of times, I feel like people with this line, a lot of times would prefer to create their own thing because it comes down from the moon, which is highly creative and imaginative area of the hand. And so they want to do the inspiring thing. And a lot of times people with this particular marking will have even trouble getting up in the morning if they're not going to go do something inspiring. They can just feel like, oh, I can't even get up. What's the point? And so I do see a lot of this too, because like I said, a lot of the people that come to me have had some sort of level of career confusion. So then of course I see a lot of these too, and I get to explain, well, it's possible that you've been taking the safe, secure route or whatever you felt society or your parents wanted for you, but really you need to be doing what inspires you. And so that can be a journey if you've spent a lot of time covering up all of, those things in your heart that want to be expressed. That can be a journey getting back to what is that and learning to ride that bike of really being in alignment with your heart and with what your soul is wanting to express. And something I had to work on a lot because I had spent a lot of time arranging myself for what I felt was best for everyone else. And so if you're experiencing that, I can definitely relate. Okay, so I think that was all I was going to say about those two markers. So my plan is to go live every day for 5 days about 2 things in your hand that you can easily check and see if you have. And I just think it'll be really fun. And so I do help people a lot that have career confusion. And usually, it's a lot of the things that I was just explaining. And so if you would like to explore what that looks like, I do offer a discovery call, and it's really fun because we do some future visioning and things like that. And it's just a great experience to see, if you really go with your heart and your soul, what does your future look like? And so I offer that for free. So if that's ever something that you would be interested in doing, please let me know. You can go to my website, and I hope you have a good start to your week. Thanks for being here. Bye.